via Zoom. We have Chinedu, the national chairman, National Rescue Motive and Zoom. A very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Let me get your opening remark concerning the wave of defection from different political party into the ruling party, the APC.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, let me situate that defection is not completely a crime because it is consistent with the individual's right to choose a political party of his choice. And again, historically, you notice that before every election in the past, you have this level of defection of people moving from their own political party together. I had said to you that there's nothing wrong with defection because it is an exercise of one's right to choose the political party you belong. So I can move from one party I belong to another party. However, there are sides to it that, of course, first is illegal to the extent that our constitution provides that for someone holding the mandate of another party, particularly in the legislature, if he leaves, the constitution requires that the person loses his seat. Have we tried it here to confirm whether we can put that law to test? A few efforts have been made, but we've not been able to determine any case where someone will have to lose the seat because he left his party. Where I have always complained that there's a concern is where there's a provision for the legislature that leaves, there's none for the executive, and which is why you find persons move the way they do. For me, I have always posited two factors. One is the legal one and the other one is the moral one. Legally speaking, I have advocated that I don't think it is proper, even though I said it's within the person's constitutional rights. If you don't hold a particular mandate of any party, you can choose to be wherever you want to be. But if there's a mandate that has been given to you by another political party, if you notice during our elections, you don't find in the ballot paper the name of any candidate. What you find is the name of the political party. And of course, people vote for the political party and not for the candidate in the strict sense of it. To that extent, you lack the moral justification to move that mandate from one party to another party. So I think that what the Constitution anticipates for the legislature, that someone vacates the seat when that happens, should apply for both the legislature in practical sense and even the executive, so that people don't move the way we find that level of movement. So if you cannot carry any mandate of any party and you want to move from the other party to the other party, it becomes your own personal decision within your right to move where you want to. That's my opinion about it. And I've advocated for a constitutional amendment that will make it mandatory that you vacate that seat once you're moving a mandate that did not belong to you but belongs to a political party.
Let me get your perspective concerning the provision of the Constitution, which has to do with the laid-down rule for any politician to jump ship, which I know one of them is the fact that until there is a division in the political party, and it is a yardstick for a politician to move from that current political party to another when there's an issue in the party. But in this case, we have not seen issue in the PDP, we have not seen issue in the Labour Party, and we have seen that people are moving in views. Yeah, how can we reconcile the position of the Constitution with their action?
You just made my point. People just use that as an excuse to jump ship. Because if you ask me, there's no political party in Nigeria today where you don't have some level of issues. Ideally, a good politician should be able to deal with issues within his party. and not just jump up and down, because there's both political parties are platforms where people struggle for power. And in the struggle for power, you usually have clash of interest. What is important is your ability to manage the crisis within your party, because the party you want to, there's no guarantee that the issues there. And like I said, there's hardly no party in Nigeria where you don't have some level issues, which I also think is consistent with democracy. So it's just that people run for first selfish issue, sometimes self-sustenance. You are scared, okay, if you don't belong to the political, the ruling party, maybe there is psychology that the ruling party gives you an advantage and you want to move to the people. That's personal and selfish. People do it often. We have also had, you remember those days of Adams Oshomole as chairman of APC, when he said, don't move to APC and your sins are forgiven. Some persons are also moving because they want their sins to be forgiven. More like a self-help to run away from anti-corruption agencies. Once you discover you have cases in the AFCC and you don't want to be haunted, you just follow the gospel according to Oshomole, and you just move over so that you'll be, protected. I think that, for me, is the reason I can find why people jump ship. The other one is that it's now becoming very obvious that some politicians are not in tune with their. I think it's difficult to move to any other party as easily as we do. You can imagine a Democrat who will be to become a Republican and vice versa. But here, apparently because most of these parties, like I've always predicted, that I have not seen any clear difference between APC and PDP, and maybe that's why it's always very easy for someone to jump there to that other party. I've never seen anybody move from my national rescue movement to either PDP or APC because our objective, ideology is clear cut, and I doubt if any of us will want to leave this belief that we have to join the other belief. And of course, the challenge now is that it's a weakening opposition to an extent. And for me, that weakening is what I call a mindset weakening, because in the practical terms, like I've always said in this studio, the political class today is less than 3% of our entire political, the entire population of Nigerians. So if you're worried about 3% of persons wanting to jump in one ship, means that we don't understand the power of the people in terms of how you can determine what happens in the election. Every political class can decide to join one political party, and then it's left for Nigerians to ask themselves whether they are comfortable with that. If they are not, I can assure you within the current electoral reforms and regime, if Nigerians in the other 37% decide to stay in one or other party, they can change the game. Those who are not doing this jumping will realize that it's not about that 3% that constitute a political class. That the other 97% can decide and get entirely a new person to lead if they want.
Now, let me take you on the issue of defection and campaign. I used to know that when people defect, they just defect and say, well, this other their current party, because of the issue, and they are no longer in tune with the ideas of the party, and as a result, they just win. But what we are seeing recently is when someone the person is already campaigning to the president, saying, okay, I am leaving because we want the president to win the 2027 election. Well, we still have about 25 months to go. What do you make of this?
That gives impetus to my argument that is for self-survival. It is not based on any serious conviction. People want to learn where the action is. Tendency that you have access within the ruling party. So people want to be part of sharing of the national cake. Otherwise, I don't see how persons can wake up in the morning and you join a party and the next thing you're doing is you want to be part of the system. And that's a simple interpretation of it.
many people have argued, including yourself, that the country is moving towards a one-party system. What does that propose for democracy?
Of course, those who give to us, the founding fathers of the democracy that give to us multi-party system, know that that is the only way you can promote democracy. When people have a choice between left or right, when people have a choice between what one party provides and the other. When we get to a one-party system, we are actually running away from democracy, because democracy did not anticipate that we run a one-party system. It gives you a multi-party democracy where you can choose between party A and B. It's something that we even tried in Nigeria. In the Fourth Republic in 1999, we had PDP that was in power for 16 years. You remember PDP boasted to us that they've been in power for 60 years. But Nigerians woke up in 2015 and said, no, PDP will have the right to hire and fire. Therefore, we need another party. And that was how APC came to power. And of course, from 2015 to now, APC has been in power. I argued the other time that APC would be unfair to Nigerians to say they want to promote a one-party system, being a beneficiary of a multi-party system. One expect them to, provide a platform where only the parties have the opportunity to have, so that Nigerians will have the opportunity to choose between party A, B, or C, and not everybody jump into one ship. But like I've also argued, it shouldn't bother us. Politics is about numbers. It's just that a lot of Nigerians don't believe in the system. But I want to use the opportunity to tell Nigerians that our electoral system is consistently improving. Anyone who have a history of what our election used to be, from the period of Jega, when the card reader was introduced, it reduced to a very large extent the kind of criminality we used to have in our electoral system. Yes, it had its issues with what they call the incident form that decided or rather took away the advantage of the card reader. But under Mahmoud revolutionized it with the beavers. The beavers will not allow you to show all those numbers that we used to see. Nigerians kept thinking that the last election was not a successful election because of the glitches. But for me, who followed that process, I want to tell you that that was the best election we've had in this country. Yes, we may not have met all the expectations because of the last minute glitch. But don't forget, let us even use the person who turned out to become the beneficiary of that election. His Excellency Alhaji Bola Tinubu. He lost Lagos State. That is a state that everyone believes he has all control. So he lost that state. The vice president of the PDP candidate, His Excellency Governor of Delta State, lost in Delta State. And in so many other places, there were Okada riders who won positions in the House of Reps. There were sitting governors who lost their senatorial seats. That showed that system is working. So I'm encouraging Nigerians to have faith. Yes, we will continue to refine and reform our electoral process. But Nigerians must have faith in the system. That something failed yesterday is not a guarantee to fail tomorrow. That's logic. I believe that with the constant electoral reforms, which Nigerians should continue to seek, continue to pursue, we will get to a day where all our votes will count. I can assure you today, our vote counts to a very large extent. And I've argued, if votes don't count in Nigeria, politicians won't be buying it. You hear every day vote buying. Why do politicians buy vote? They buy vote because it counts. If it don't count, nobody will buy vote. So I plead with Nigerians not to get worried about how many parties, how many governors move in one political party. Their numbers, their family and friends constitute less than 3% of our population. So the voting population of Nigeria can decide to follow my party, and our party seeks to rescue Nigeria. The National Rescue Movement. It's not just a party; it's the movement of Nigerians seeking to rescue Nigeria. Join us. We can now move to a credible Nigerian all of us believe in, and the like 7% can vote for NRM. And so the next time the political class will know that we are now aware. You can no longer take us for a ride.
We are due for a break. When we come back, we'll continue on the subject matter.